countries, places all over the world. And at the time, I believe he was on the phone with somebody from China. And from what I know, from what the person who he was on the phone with, who got in touch with our family, my brother said that when the plane hit, he said, the building shook, and he was on the phone, and he said, I think a plane just hit in the building. I'm going to try and get out of here. I think the words were actually a little bit more worse, but he tried to leave and tried to escape like everyone did. Now, how many people have seen what happened on 9/11? Raise your hand. Okay, so some have, some haven't. The planes hit the building. The people generally who were above where the planes hit, they didn't make it. I think a couple did. Luckily, they were able to find a staircase to make their way down, but on some of the buildings, the staircases were gone. So from the impact of the plane hitting the building. Now, generally, everybody below the impact, where the planes went in, they made it out alive. The same thing happened with the Pentagon, which, how many people know what the Pentagon is? Okay? That's where our military is based in the United States. It's in Washington. So that's it. Do you have any questions more? Scream. Well, let's see. I'm going to go across the whole spectrum of my family. My mother was at home. At the time, my father and I were at work, and we work in different businesses, same business, but different locations, and he was with me, and we were talking about what we were going to do today, and a gentleman who's a very big donor to this school, Mr. Mel Kushner, called us and said, put the TV on. A plane just hit the World Trade Center. I remember it like it was yesterday. My father and I, we looked at each other, and we got to a TV immediately, and we decided that he was going to go immediately home. I was going to close our businesses, and I was going to go pick up Jennifer first, drop Jennifer at home, and then go pick up my brother Jonathan, who was, how old were you? He was 15, and he went to Pennsbury. He was at Medill Bear, which is now Pennsbury West, sorry. So my father went home immediately to be with my mom to try and get in touch with the local authorities, get in touch with anyone we could to try and find out information. I came to Abrams to pick up Jennifer. Like she told you, she was 11 years old. And then I brought her home. Jonathan I picked up next. My other brother Jordan was in college. Jordan was at the University of Georgia, and he was horrified. He wanted to get home immediately. We, as a family, decided that at the time, there was a lot of chaos going on, and it was only just my family was affected, but all of your families were affected as well. Which, I don't know if you understand or not, but it really affected this country as a whole. I mean, this was, for my generation, does anyone know what Pearl Harbor was? Okay. 9/11 was the Pearl Harbor of my generation. It was an unexpected thing. We never in this country, as young people, had to deal with someone else, and not even a country, but just bad people inflicting pain on us. So there's a lot of things to learn, and it takes time to get those things. You have a question? Yes. I don't know the number that died at the Pentagon, but I am going to take a wild guess and say probably 300, 400. The majority of people died at the World Trade Center. And plus people died at the plane crash of Flight 93, which crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
In the World Trade Center, there was almost 3,000 people who lost their lives that day. Did they ever catch the people?
Who did this? Yes. Does anyone know the name of the person who orchestrated this? I figured, okay. Yeah. Right. Well, we finally got Osama bin Laden, who was a very, very, very bad person. Everyone knows who Hitler was, right? You know how bad he was, what he did to the Jews. Bad. Bin Laden was the same thing. He was the same thing.
Yeah.
Now that